This video is going to show you how to use the matrix templates that are in ClassPad.net in calculations or in text if you want students showing their work. So you'll see over here I have 4 different matrices, a 1x2, a 2x3, and 2 2x2s. So one thing that you'd want to be able to do if you're going to use calculations is to get the calculate sticky out. And you'll notice we have a template that comes up. And over here, if you hit math and go to the second tab, you'll see that we have matrices templates. And so let me just explain what each one does here. This one right here is a horizontal. So if I click it once, I have what's shown 2. But let's say I have a 3x1 matrix. If I hit it again, basically it adds another spot, another column in my matrices. This template is a vertical template, right? So if I click it now, notice I already have a 3x1. But if I click this, now I'm going to go down vertically. So now I have a 3x2. So this one adds columns and this one adds rows. So if I wanted another row, a 3x3 now, I would simply click that. So columns and rows. And this template right here is a 2x2. So if let's just start over here. If I clicked that template to begin with, I would automatically get a 2x2. And if I clicked it again, it's going to add both a row and a column. So it's sort of making square matrices. So this one adds a column at a time, this one adds a row at a time, and this one adds both a column and a row the more you click it. So we're always going to have square matrices using this template. So let's go back and let's enter one of the matrices here. Let's say I just want to calculate with a matrix. Let's say I'm doing scalar multiplication and I want to multiply matrix A by 5. So I'm going to enter my 5 and I can use my numbers down here or the keyboard and times, and now I'm going to enter my matrix. And so I would want to get the template out, and I want this one matches it, so I'm just going to do that. And now I enter the numbers that are in that matrix. So then we've got a -3. And when I hit execute, the calculator will perform the calculation, right? So that's one way to do it, is to have the calculator perform once I've entered the matrices. Let's say I want to use these matrices together. So let's say I want to enter C and D and I want to do many different things with them. So now I might actually define them so that I can use the variables. So I'm going to do colon equals, so C, just as you see it here. And now I'm going to enter math, tab 2, and I want a 2x2, and now I'm going to enter those values, and I'm going to use my keyboard here instead of the template just because it's a bit faster when I'm on my computer here, but either way works. And notice when I hit execute here, I don't see any change because I haven't actually done any operation. All I've done is defined this matrix to be C, so now I can use C in my calculations. So I could do 2 times C, and what it's going to do, very much like what we did up here, it's going to multiply 2, scalar multiplication, by this entire matrix, and when I hit execute I will see the end result of that. So you can enter matrices just using the numbers, or you can give them a name and use the name in the calculations if you're going to be working with calculations. Let's enter D now, and I want to show you how you can use your variables. So we're going to go again, math, 2x2, and now let's enter our values here. 0.5, 2, -3. All right, so now I've defined matrix D. Now I can use, since these are 2x2s, I can do some addition. So I could do matrix C plus matrix D. And so it's going to take the defined values, 8 plus 8, this one up here for C, this one for D, and add them so that I can make some comparisons. I could do D plus C, and hopefully we'll see that matrix addition is commutative. So you can do matrices a couple different ways, entering them individually and working with them, or defining them as a given name and using the name in your calculations. I could find, since this is a 2x2, I can find its inverse. So we're going to just hit C to the -1. Let's see what our inverse is. Not a very pretty inverse, but there's the inverse of C, the matrix C. Let's see what the inverse of D might look like. And there's the inverse of D. And what is C times its inverse? Let's see what that looks like. So you can do a lot of calculations. Oops, wrong thing there. We wanted to do its inverse. And we get the identity matrix. So lots of things you can do, just simply understanding how you can enter a matrix using the templates. So this adds columns, this template adds rows, and this template adds both a column and a row at a time, always keeping the matrix square. Well, let's say you don't want the calculator to do all the work and you want your students doing the work. So let's move this down here and let's get up a text box. So let's say I want the students, maybe they've done the addition, but I want to see that they did the work themselves. So this time I'm going to pull up a text sticky. And I want you to just notice the text sticky doesn't have any calculator features. It just allows you to enter matrices and work with them. So let's say I wanted the students to add C and D and show me their work. So I would choose this right here, which is the square root of A, but this is actually math symbols. So notice the template comes up again. So I could actually have students show me their work. So let's enter C, and C is 8 plus 8, 4, 5, -2, and then I could show that I'm going to be adding them, and then add in again math template 2, the D matrix, which is -4.5 and 2, -3. And then put an equal sign, and I could actually have them show their work. So let's do a 2 by 2, but here I'm going to put 8 plus a -4, and in this position is 4 plus 0.5, and in this position I have 5 plus 2, and 2 plus a -3. And so now I'm going to be able to see that students understood that when you add matrices, you're adding each term, each column, each row to the matching corresponding column and row. So now I get my 4, my 4.5, my 7, and my -1. So this is a way to do the matrices, not having the calculator do it. Maybe they use the calculator to verify their answer. So here's the answer verified, but I've used the ability to use the templates in the text to show my work. So that's how you can use matrices, either calculations with them and defining them by variables, using their name in the calculations, or if you just want students showing their work, they can be doing this in their text because the same template, math 2, and you have these templates here that allow you to create lots of different matrices.